Goodell's wife is not having it, taking matters into her own hands. Stephen A., I'm on board with this, but I can't wait to hear how you feel. How bad does this look for Goodell?
It looks bad. It looks bad, and it looks very, very weak for him, not her. She is a woman that is standing by her man. Any man,
ride or
that's
die.
what you want. That's what you want your woman to do. You want her to ride and die with you. That's how we roll. We love that, okay? So there's absolutely nothing wrong with what she did for her man, other than the account didn't need to be fake. Own up to it, but again, at the same time, we understand she was coming to the defense of her man. If you're Roger Goodell, well, we now know how you feel about President Trump. We now know how you feel about DeMaurice Smith. We now know that you feel that DeMaurice Smith should be mentioned in the same breath as President Trump, because clearly the wife would not have said that if it was not shared. I think it's within the realms. It's in the realms of fairness to deduce from what she wrote and come to that conclusion. So in the end, if you're Roger Goodell, the business that you've done with DeMaurice Smith and the Players Association, the business that you've done in terms of making sure that Donald Trump didn't become an owner of the Buffalo Bills, those kind of things come to my mind right now. You know, they call it pillow talk or whatever. I'm not going to sit up there and disrespect the commissioner or his wife or anything. I'm sure she's a lovely lady. I'm sure they have an absolutely wonderful family. I've been a fan of Roger Goodell's for years, even though he hasn't always made the greatest decisions. But I still think he's a hell of a commissioner because he's answerable to the owners, and clearly he has taken care of them. But in the end, when your lady, your woman, is behind the scenes speaking on things that concern you, it gets attached to you. And for her to have a fake account in order to do it, it does leave you wondering, did Roger Goodell know about this and okay it? That's the question mark, and I think that's what makes him look bad.
It doesn't look great for Roger Goodell, obviously, and the way it doesn't look great if, I don't know, as a kid, your brother or your father or your mother, whoever has to fight your battles for you, right? Something like that. But I'd be a little bit careful to just assume that Goodell and his wife see lockstep, or are lockstep on every point she might make. Ask James Carville about that, right? Let's ask if his wife sees things exactly as he does. Look, I have no problem with this, really, in the sense that it doesn't look good for her, but even the way she owned it, look, I'm embarrassed by it, but I'm standing up for my husband. Who can't understand that? And who hasn't gotten caught with their hand in the cookie jar, behaving in a way that, that doesn't meet quite the standard that they'd like to meet, or certainly that they'd like people to know about. So, yes, it doesn't look great for Goodell in this way. It doesn't look great when your family stands up for you because maybe you're not doing a good enough job of standing up for yourself. But I got no beef here. She's standing up for her husband, as we all said. And I don't even think we can read too deeply into her her public pronouncements, even under an assumed name, as being exactly the same as his.
Well,
she's her own
we
person.
disagree there. We
to
disagree there. I'm in no way trying to imply that she's not her own person. But you know what? We have to make up our minds about the institution of marriage in this country and the significance of it. Yes, you're independent, but at the same time, when you love one another and you pledge your lives to one another and you have a family, you have children together and all of this other stuff, I don't think it's beyond the pale to assume that she came to his defense echoing things that she knows he would agree with. I don't think it's beyond the pale to sit up there and say.
Let me tell you something.
I just want to say one thing.
That.
Because I think that's
Yes.
fair. But Stephen A., you brought up the best question. Did Goodell know? And I'm just assuming, and we know what assuming does. I'm going to assume he didn't know, and she just kind of went rogue here. Because women, we don't always ask for permission. She might have just been completely fed up.
You're a woman. You would know better than me. I certainly don't. I am in no position to challenge you on that.